Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. Jerry would like you to officially meet his new baby brother, whose name is Atticus. So you know that Jerry has 3 legs, and little Atticus has a bit of a deformed paw. So Jerry thought that they could be best buds. Isn't he adorable? He's 4 months old, and he's the newest little member of our fur family. Okay, go back to your people. Okay, so another awe moment for us. It is August 23rd. Thank you so much for finding me and joining me. Do not be surprised if you hear Jerry kind of being vocal in the background. He's got a lot to say. So, what a week. Honestly, what a week this has been. So I thought what we would do is just take a bit of a look at some of the things that have been on our mind, front and center, over the course of this week. So, I'm going to start on my little list. There's 4 things I'm hoping to get through, so I'm going to get through them. All right, come on down. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to find out about, Trump is just going after Chairman Powell, who is the head of the Federal Reserve. He wants him to drop interest rates by a full percentage point, which is absolutely insane. And this morning, in fact, he tweeted out that he didn't know who was a bigger enemy, China or Chairman Powell. So I want to take a quick look at your economy. What's going on with your economy, USA? U.S. economy, U.S. economy, U.S. economy. I noticed that this morning the stock market is, down high 300s to 400s. So it's not having a good day. And of course, part of the reason for that is because China announced some new tariffs. Okay. Again, he inherited a growing and robust economy. Now, economies, they go up and down. They're kind of a little bit like a slow-moving wave. So, at some point, the economy would have had to kind of pull back a little bit. But what Trump did was he stomped on the brakes, okay? Everything he does is negatively impacting the economy because basically Trump doesn't understand how economies work. He just doesn't get it. There are a lot of people that are really concerned about his erratic behavior. The things he says are becoming more and more unhinged. And it is creating a significant problem because, of course, he keeps trying to make everything go the way he wants it to go, and he wants it to go the way it was in, 1950. I keep getting this card, this 4 of Swords. And I keep seeing it as him literally self-sabotaging, right? He is wittingly or unwittingly doing that which is going to bring him down. It just is. So there is going to be strong leadership that tries to stabilize him. Certainly Chairman Powell is doing that. He's saying, we can keep stimulating the economy, but it needs to be slower. And so it's going to be interesting to see if Trump tries to fire the guy, or I know they're talking about trying to shift things around so that people who are more sympathetic to Trump's views have a vote. So the economy is going to continue to go up and down, and honestly, the chaos is just going to be amplified by the White House. And the more he feels he has to defend himself, of course, the worse the economy is going to get, because all he knows how to do is push back and double down. So, you know, it's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride. I really do see kind of September through January as being difficult. And I know economists are saying that, you know, they're actually expecting a real downturn taking place kind of just before the 2020 election. So I guess, you know, you've been told, you do what you can, you know, protect yourselves as best you can. There's definitely going to be a bit of a downturn in the economy, and it's going to scare you. It's frightening when your security feels in jeopardy. And that's exactly how a lot of you are going to feel. And all I can say is, you know, just keep your emotions guarded, watch your pennies, and you're going to come through this. I know a lot of days it sure doesn't feel like you're going to come through it, but you will. You're going to come through it. Now, just to expand on that, I want to take a look at sort of the Chinese and the tariffs and see if that situation is going to calm down or if it is just going to continue to escalate, because certainly the announcement this morning about the $75 million million, I think, announcement that China was putting tariffs on a bunch of U.S. products, that they're saying is sort of what made today's market kind of unstable. They were hoping that today it would settle, but with China's announcement, it has not. And again, Trump is playing checkers with someone who plays chess, okay? The Chinese have long-term strategies. They have a plan. They're not oblivious to what is going on. They can see that this week Trump has been even more erratic, and so they are kicking him when he's down. And frankly, you know, why shouldn't they? He's standing on the White House lawn raving like a fool about how he's the chosen one to take on China. So I guess China decided to push back just a wee little bit. Tariffs. 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 Make no mistake, in this little pushy-shovey game that's going on, China has the power, and China is holding the cards. They are able to manipulate in ways that, you know, other countries don't. Not saying what they're doing is legal, I'm just saying they do it. So they control, they have a lot more, you know, I'm literally seeing, you know, the puppets that are on strings and they do little performances? Marionettes, I think they're called. That's sort of literally what I'm seeing when you think about China, right? They just manipulate everything the way they want it to be manipulated so that, you know, it works for them. Hang on, I'm just going to move my mic a little closer. Okay, so, yeah, they are in the position of strength and authority here. And they're celebrating because honestly, they're thinking, oh my God, this guy is such a fool. He doesn't know what he's doing. And so literally, we're going to kick him when he's down. We're going to create even more instability. Because, you know, don't kid yourself. On the one hand, well, foreign powers like Trump's craziness, his personality, because he is so easily manipulated, it also worries them a great deal because they're really mindful of the fact that he is so unstable and he's becoming more and more unstable. And so what you have is sort of a real push to kind of bring him down, okay? Like more and more countries are saying enough, enough, enough. We really need to get him out of office because he is putting the entire world in jeopardy. So that's a bit of an issue. So leaders are not going to, they're not going to continue to pander to him. They're not going to continue to just quietly shake their heads and say, oh, Trump, what a fool. They're now at a point where they're saying Trump is dangerous. He needs to be removed from office. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens at the G7. Because, in fact, let's just ask. G7 response to Trump. G7 response to Trump. G7 response to Trump. Because I actually think that he's going to feel bullied and ganged up on and unloved. And so it'll be interesting to see how he reacts. And apparently there's some scuttlebutt about the fact that he's already wanting to shake things up, you know, and he's screaming and yelling about how Russia belongs there. And Russia doesn't belong there. Okay, so. All right. Watch out for fireworks, okay? He's going to feel trapped. He's going to be accused of things that are accurate, but he will see them as illusions and delusions and lies. Don't be surprised if he calls out every single country there. These are 7 cups, the G7. So he's going to be calling out every single leader of every single country, demanding that, you know, Russia play a role in this. And there's going to be fireworks, people. You know, his behavior at these international kind of meetings is always an abomination. This one, expect no less. There's going to be big time fireworks because they've had it with him and they want stability. They're tired of being worried. They're tired of being pandering to him because he's so erratic. They're at a place now where they're saying enough is enough. He's not going to be allowed to do this. He needs to be stopped. And the G7 politely and diplomatically are going to put him in his place, or certainly try to. And of course, as soon as that happens, this is what happens to him. He lashes out, he fights, he screams, he carries on. And don't be surprised if that sort of sweaty, incredibly hyper Trump that we see, that, you know, many people believe is the result of some sort of substance abuse. Don't be surprised if if that Trump is not at the G7. So he's going to be even more erratic. And he's going to be yelling and screaming about money. And, you know, he's of the opinion that every other country gets protected by the United States, and completely ignores the fact that all those other countries rushed to the United States' aid during 9/11. They rushed to, you know, Denmark's aid. Denmark wasn't the one who was attacked. The U.S. was. But he likes to just tell the world that the U.S. protects everybody, and he's tired of being Big Brother. Because with him, it's all about power and money and perception, how he is perceived, how he is feeling. And, you know, basically, if if he's not feeling loved, then he goes batshit crazy. That's it. That's the word for it. All right. Let's take a quick look-see at, although it kind of feels like I just covered it, but let's take a quick look-see if we can anticipate any more really, really radical behavior or really unhinged behavior over the weekend and into early next week. Let's see what that kind of looks like. All right. Trump's mental state, Trump's mental state, Trump's mental state. I would suggest that you brace yourself for a tweet storm this weekend. He is going to be wild and furious. I'm not quite sure exactly what is going to set him off, because I see it as a new thing. In addition to all the things that have set him off this week, there's going to be another new thing. He's not quite ready to let go of the Greenland thing. He's, attacking Chairman Powell of the Federal Reserve. He's going to go after China because of the tariffs. But there's something else that's going to set him off. So be mindful of that. I also think, actually, David Koch, or Koch, depending how you pronounce it, I've heard both, died this morning, as I'm sure you're all aware. And even though they had pulled back their support on Trump, they continued to support the Republican Party. But somewhere in there, that rejection from them is going to be, it's interesting, right? Because he knows he can't attack them. And so that just infuriates him more. And somehow with that passing of Koch, it is going to create some anxiety and stress in him, but that's not what there's something else that's going to happen. I don't know what it is. It's going to be something new. It's going to rock him, and he is going to start yelling and screaming and trying to change the world's perceptions, okay? Literally, he wants to change the conversation. So I wouldn't be surprised if something came out about him or his family or some business dealings under the Trump umbrella, and he became very anxious and wants to change the subject. And we all know he likes to do that. He's good at doing that. So I expect it's going to be a bit of a weekend, let's say. So, and the last thing I want to take a quick look at is the Amazon forest fires. And I'll warn you right now, this is not an area that I would typically delve into, so I'm not sure, how much clarity I'm going to get. And understand, it's not that the universe and spirit does not give me the message. It's that sometimes my interpretation of the message may not be, quite as accurate as it is in other areas. But let's take a look at it. Amazon fires, Amazon fires, Amazon fires. The Amazon, as I'm sure every one of you is aware, are referred to as the lungs of the planet. In some of my own channeling work, there are many medical miracles, basically, that are still hiding in the Amazon that have not yet been discovered. Sometimes it's almost like I see the Amazon as like the pharmaceutical of the earth. It is where so many of the healing properties come from. And of course, as it gets burned out, those things potentially are disappearing forever. And that is an incredible, incredible tragedy. There's definitely darkness connected to the forest fires. You have, dark money, dark doings, negative type behaviors, and money. It's about money. It's about, creating more wealth for those people who, again, think that they deserve it at no cost to them, but disruptive, honestly, to the entire rest of the planet. So that's a problem. That is absolutely a problem, because this situation did not start from a random lightning strike. And things have just gotten really, really out of hand. So that's not good. I would not be surprised. If other countries start approaching and saying, can we help? Can we send some of our expertise in? Is there a way that we can help you bring this under control? But I'm not just seeing sort of firefighters. I'm seeing like specialists, people who really, really understand fires and, have a very clear idea of how fires work, the intelligence behind fires. So it might well be that there is some support coming for them in an attempt to sort of get this situation and these fires under control. For the love of God, let's hope that Trump doesn't tell them they should have vacuumed things better. Or raked, my apologies, raked things better. The Judgment card is an interesting one, because it's almost coming across as almost as if it is a message from the earth. It is a message from the universe saying this isn't acceptable, and these are the ramifications of that behavior. So let's all send cooling thoughts to the Amazon. Let's pray for whatever assistance can be given or sent. And in the meantime, we of course can send our assistance in the form of prayers, meditations, energy to cool the flames. And for those of you who are interested, when you're trying to cool a flame, you're looking for very calm colors. I'm seeing baby blue, lavender, those kinds of colors that are soothing to bring down the temperature. So hopefully we can all get together and send that energy out, and hopefully it will have a good impact, because we can't lose our lungs, okay? We just can't. So I am going to wish you all a good weekend. I may or may not surface over the course of the weekend, but we have a lot going on in our little house, and we have a little kitty cat that's adjusting. So if you don't hear from me on Monday, don't worry, I'm fine, everything's good. And if you do hear from me before Monday, then I'll be thrilled and delighted to see you. Thank you so much for the donations, the likes, the subscribes, personal readings on the box below. Look it up. And until next time, take care, be well, and I'll see you really soon. Bye.